everyone, and welcome back to my podcast. It's been a long time since I recorded an episode, but I finally starting again. And today I have with me, I will call her friend at this point because we have been working together for a while. Her name is Beth McIntyre, and she has been working with me and my family this modality that we will talk about called Emotion Code. Welcome, and thank you so much for being here, Beth.
Thank you, Valentina, for having me.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm very good, thank you. I'm super good. I'm always good these days.
That's great. So I would like maybe to start with your story. If you want to share how you arrived where you are today.
Yeah, I don't know. Where should I start then? Like back at the beginning?
Yes, as long as you like, as deep as you like.
Well, I guess when I was younger, I grew up kind of having a lot of kind of mental health issues. Right from, I think I was 14 years old when I got diagnosed with MDD, major depressive disorder. And I think I used to see a psychiatrist at that. I think I was 13 or 14 or something like that. And I used to see a psychiatrist, and she diagnosed me with that. And my whole teens were just terrible. Like I have happy memories, but I just remember a majority of it just feeling really bad, just absolutely like the worst you can imagine. Through my teens, like I did a lot of self-harming and a lot of suicidal thoughts and, that kind of thing. And it continued through my 20s. I think it got a little bit better, but it was still pretty bad. And then I kind of remember around mid-20s, like it felt like it was getting better. I started like a career that I enjoyed at the time, and I felt like, oh, things are looking up, like I feel happier, but I still have like really bad like breakdowns, like constant, like not all the time, but they were still like a few times a year. So like they would still be like I'd get better, but like feel better, but then I'd still underneath like it was really easy for me to like go down to like holy shit, back to that feeling of like, oh, I don't want to be here. I just want to end it. Like, what's the point? That. And I think it was like I was 28 when I found Catherine Zenkina, and I started doing like I think what had happened is we just moved to Europe from South America, and my business was like still doing the same, but I just started noticing like obviously South America, it's like is a lot more expensive to live, like. And I started feeling like the pressure in my business, and I was like, oh my God, this is like a huge leap. So I wanted to look for like I started out as like business stuff. So I was looking at, how to improve my business. And then it kind of slowly started off as like mindset work, but it was all for me like around like how to improve my business. And then slowly, I don't know, over the years, like it just changed like to more spiritual stuff. And then I did like NLP and hypnosis and a lot of coaching. And I noticed like that was actually helping me a lot more than anything I'd done before. But still, like many years later, like I was still overall, like there would be still like breakdowns, and I still felt like a big thing for me was that I always felt like I didn't have any purpose in life. And, I'd just done so many things, and I'd traveled to so many countries, and I've lived in so many places. And I think a lot of that was just I'm so grateful for all these experiences. Like they were amazing, but a lot of it was just me kind of trying to fill some void that like I thought that I could find happiness like in another country or like something like that. And I remember distinctly in my early 20s definitely feeling that way. Like I remember feeling like I don't want to live here. Like this is not where I belong. I need to be somewhere else. Like my happiness isn't here. Like things like this, which is like now, like obviously I realize like that isn't, like not true. But back then, like I just had no idea. Like I thought that I was going to find my happiness in some other country. So I did so much traveling and lived in so many places, and tried so many jobs. And I just felt so, always like so behind in life. Like everyone was always like seemed to had their life figured out, like had a stable career and like jobs they enjoyed. And I was like, what am I doing? Like I can't find anything. And I didn't want to be stuck in like some kind of job that I just didn't enjoy, Like that always to me seemed like really like just continuing like this like despair of a life. Like what's the point of living if like I'm just going to be stuck in this job that I hate? Like I already feel bad. I don't want to feel worse. And yeah, so then in 2020 I had to come back to Australia when COVID happened. Like I was a digital nomad at that point, traveling around Europe. And back when I came back, like my life like had fell apart basically. I felt like everything in my life had fallen apart that year. And I came back and my business had also fallen apart that I had then. And I, again, like back at this point where I was like, I don't know what I want to do. Like I felt lost again. But I guess the only thing that I kept doing throughout all that time, like from when I first started mindset work for my business at the end of 2018 to now, obviously still, was like inner work, because like even though it was very slow, I could tell that it was helping me. Like I was feeling better. Like I was doing, I don't know, like I'm sure most of the modalities I've done, you've probably done as well, like EFT and a lot of like hypnosis, NLP, a lot of mindset work, like a lot of like rewriting limiting beliefs, I don't know, like meditation, the breath work, like all types of different things. And they were all, yeah, like really great. But I still like, when was it? The start of 2024? Yeah, just last year. Like I still was at this point where I was like, I don't know what I want to do. Like I feel like I have no purpose. Like I'd actually gone into study. I went to art school because I thought, oh, I loved to do art when I was young. Maybe that's it. And I realized very soon it wasn't. And it actually made me feel worse because all my friends around me, they were like, you could tell like they were so passionate about art. It was like definitely their thing. And I was like, this isn't for me. Like I like painting, but like I don't feel any kind of passion. I don't want to talk about it. Like I don't really want to, like I don't really want to sit in my studio for 10 hours a day. It doesn't really feel like great. Like, so I could just tell, like it still wasn't it for me. But yeah, it was like the start of 2024. That's really like when we joined that group, that group like changed like everything. Like, because I'd known Catherine Zenkina like and taken all her courses. Like I think every single course she's put out I've taken like since the end of 2018. And like I always had heard that story about the 1 year experiment, and I was always like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, yeah. And then every time I'd like make this decision, I'm like, oh, this is the 1 year, the start of the 1 year. But like the decision was never that powerful. Like I don't know, I wasn't at a place yet where I could make the decision. I don't know, like didn't have that power, like intention behind it. And then when someone posted in the graduate group, like, oh, we're going to start a group for the 1 year experiment, I was like, oh, yeah. And then like, I don't know, maybe because there's other people as well, like supporting, all together. It was like, oh yeah, like I'm going to do it. Like, this is it, the 1 year experiment. Like my year's going to change. Like my life's going to change in this year. And I was like, I had a lot of decision behind it, like powerful intention. And then that was like, the group started like sometime in January. And yeah, it was like, like 3 days later or like 2 days, 1 day. Like it was so soon after that, like I joined that group that like I found the emotion code. Like it was literally like it was the same week. It was so soon after. It was insane. And at the time, obviously, like I saw it on Catherine's story. She posted the book I have here, like about the emotion code. And I was on the plane to Japan, and I was like, oh, like I saw it on Spotify, and I was like, oh, I've got like a 9-hour flight ahead of me. I'm just gonna sit there and listen to it. And I listened to the whole thing, and the next 2 weeks when I was on holiday, I just like started practicing on myself. And even in just like 2 weeks, I was like, holy shit, like have like, there's like a big difference. Like I feel a big difference in just 2 weeks. And I was just practicing on myself. So like I'd never done any kind of like muscle testing before. Like I just learned from the book and I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to do it right. Like I'll just do it anyway. And I just started doing it and I was like, yeah, cool. And there was like some like the processing, it was like at the beginning it was like really bad because like some of the processing was really bad and I thought I was going backwards. And at that time, like I had no one to support me. I didn't know, just the book. And because I guess had some such like strong feelings in the past, like strong negative feelings in the past, like when I was processing, some of them were coming up and I was like, well, what is this? Like I'm getting worse. I'm going backwards. And then they just passed, like the next day or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, that must have been like the processing that they talk about in the book. And I would just test, is this processing? And then like, yes, okay, it's going to pass. So I don't know. And I just came home and then I reckon like in the next month, I decided to get the emotion code certification. Like I didn't even know at that point, like I wanted to, like be a practitioner. I just wanted to do it because I was like, oh, it's so good. Like, but I need more. Like I want to get better at it. Right. And so I just got the certification and then, yeah, like I just noticed like slowly and slowly, like my life was just like changing and I was just feeling like better. And it was slow at first because like the changes were more subtle. Um, but like I just kept working on myself like every day, whenever I could, like whenever I get the chance, whenever my body would let me, I would just work on myself. And I just kept practicing on myself. And then with the certifications, like, oh, of course, I have to like certify by having volunteers. So I practiced on volunteers, but the majority of the time was just on myself. And yeah, like after I got the certification, I still didn't like think I'm gonna do this on other people. I was still in that place where I was like, I don't know what I want to do. Like I just knew that somewhere inside of me, like I need to work for myself. Like I need something that makes me like fulfilled. And like last year I was still working at my job, which was like a teacher, like a painting instructor. Um, and like I enjoyed that job. It was fun, but like it wasn't fulfilling for me. Like it was like social painting. So like it was just like one-off sessions people would come for and we'd like take them through a painting. Like it's like I didn't really see the same people. I didn't really see them progress. Like it was fun. Yeah. But it was like, got to a point where I was like, oh my God, this is like the same thing every day. Like I can't do this anymore. And I knew that I needed to leave, but I didn't feel like I don't know, at that point it was like right in front of me the whole time, like the emotion code. But I was like, oh no, I don't know, maybe I didn't feel like I was good enough at it yet. Or like I was still in this place where like for so long I felt like it's not possible for me to have success, like I want to have my own business, but like I felt like no belief in myself, like at all. Like I just had, after my last business failed, like it obviously failed for a reason, but as after it kind of crashed out and it stopped generating any income and I had to leave it behind, like I just felt, hopeless. Like I was like, oh, I'm not cut out to like work for myself. Like, I have to go back to working for someone else. Like even though I knew I want to, but like I just had like just zero belief in myself, like absolutely zero belief. And then yeah, like at the end of last year, like I decided to do the other two certifications. And that was really when things started just like really changing, like on like fast speed. And cut to now, like in January, I decided, like, again, it was like kind of like after the 1 year experiment, I was like, holy shit, like so much has changed. Like, but I feel like I think someone else in the group said, like, I'm going to do another year because I know that like in the next year, like things will just like completely change. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So I was like, oh, I'm going to do it again. Like, and then at the start of January, I was like, no, this is the year that like I'm going to bloody make a business work. Like, this is it. And at that point, like I had all three certifications, like emotion, body, belief code. And like when I did belief code in December, like my life really started changing and I'm like, holy shit. So I just had the power. Like at that moment, I had so much more like decision behind me. Like I was like, no, I can do it. Like I have to make it work. It's changed so much for me. Like now, like I can see the changes in my life now. Like I know the changes. So now I'm going to help others. And in January, I decided to quit my job. And then in February, when I left, I decided to leave earlier than what I told them. Um, And because I was just so over it, like I was just so over it at that point. But because they don't have many staff, it's a small business, and I was like, oh, I'll give them a couple of months' notice. And there was a busy period coming up, and I was like, oh, I'll stay till March. And then, like after I gave the notice, like in my head, I was already checked out. Like I was like, oh, like the decision was already made, and I was like, felt so much relief. So then February came and I was like, oh, sorry guys, I can't continue. Like I'm not here. Like I can feel myself, like I come to the job, but like I'm not present here. Like I hate it so much. Like now that I know that I'm leaving, it's like I'm checked out. And so I like left in February, and I was so nervous because my business, like in January, my business generated like 150 Australian dollars, like nothing. And then in Feb, like when I decided to leave, it just still generated like $200 or something. But I was like, nah, like I just know I have to leave. Like I can't, something will happen. Like I'll sort itself out. And the week I literally left, like my overall income for Feb was $2,000 Australian. It's like in the week that I left, like it just blew up. And then since then, it's just like been like going crazy. Like, like, oh, and like, like all my clients are like getting like amazing results, and like I feel just like this is like my thing, and I'm like so happy and so fulfilled, and like all the things that I thought were like impossible for me are just like coming like so quickly.
That's amazing. Yeah, and sometimes we cling on things just for safety, which there is nothing wrong with that. But what is missing is really like completely let go of what's not for us anymore, and then we can have these jumps forward. So yeah, and yeah. So thank you for saying all of this, because we were in the same group together, but of course you weren't updating every week what was going on with your life. Sometimes I remember you dropping here and there the emotion code, and someone else in the group saying, oh, that's amazing, I keep using it. And for some reason, the first time that you said it, it really didn't click. I said, oh, maybe I will have a look at that at some point. But I think many months later, I actually bought the book and started to listen to it as well. So, and I contacted you and we started to work together, because I didn't even remember who said it in the group. But it's amazing to, it's amazing.
Someone, because Catherine posted on her story, so I think a few of the people in the group were talking about it.
Okay. And I like what you said, which I think is important for everyone to know. Like when you did the 1-year experiment, just don't stop there, even if you feel already much better, because it's the compounding effect, right? The more you keep going, the faster it goes.
With the body code, like it's the emotion code, like all of it. It's like I guess I should tell people who don't know what it is. Like the emotion code is like the first level, and the body code is like the second level, and then the belief code is the third level. So the emotion code is just trapped emotions, like this trapped emotional energy, like if you will, like trauma. I don't like that word, but trauma in the body that we know is stored in the body. That's basically what the emotion code is. That's what we find and release. And then the body code goes like a bit deeper. So we find like other energetic imbalances, like pathogens, like bone misalignments, circuitry misalignments, things like that we can all energetically kind of shift. And then the belief code is like deeper again, where like we can basically rewire the subconscious, like all our belief systems, like just through muscle testing, and the subconscious mind will basically give us the beliefs and we can release them energetically. And so that's
thanks for explaining that. And we can go deeper as well in a little bit, but what I wanted to say also is how, for I think the majority of people on this path, it starts really with us, because we want to feel better. We are going through something either since childhood or something happened throughout life that is painful, and we want to find a way to actually find some meaning in this life and feel better again. So is this the same thing that happened to me. I started meditation, Reiki, I got into coaching, and mindset work is actually like all initially for myself, because I wanted to feel better and be happier. And then at some point there is something that makes you realize that this is the only thing you would like to do. Not just working on yourself, but actually spread. Since you see the results, you want to spread it with everyone around. Yeah. So,
like, I was just going to say, like, I knew I always wanted to help people. Like, since I felt so bad, like, I always knew that I wanted to help people. Like, I have a degree in psychology. Like, I always knew I wanted to help people, but I just didn't know how, or like, like I hadn't found anything yet that I felt was like worthwhile to help people, because I hadn't been able to help myself yet, right? You're like, it's like
yeah,
once you find a thing that helps yourself, you're like, oh, now I have to help other people with this because it helped me so much.
exactly. And I think for so many of us is the same path. And I wanted to ask you, how did you understand that was the thing that you wanted to do? But you basically answered already. You always wanted to
Yeah.
help people. You were
Yeah.
in psychology. So I found is really a mix of what you are naturally good at, where you're naturally drawn to, what other
Mm.
people also tell you sometimes, like some people come to you and said, oh, you listen so well, or whatever other job you're doing, like you're so funny if you want to be a comedian or something.
Yeah.
And so it's a mix of things. And because I think we are so, I will say program. There are other terms that we could use, but from society and your family, we don't listen to these things, we forget throughout our life. Um, yeah, well, we're passionate about it. It takes a long time. And I think with the meaning of my podcast, the intention of my podcast is really also helping people realize that you don't have to know it when you are 8 years old. You probably know at 8 years old much more than later in life. But sometimes it's really the journey, because throughout the journey, you understand and embody all the lessons that you will need to then do fulfill your purpose, let's say. It's
Yeah.
really a journey. Yeah. I discovered what I wanted to do at 34. So,
Yeah, well, I'm 34 now, so,
yeah,
it was
close.
for me, like, I was 34 as well, because, even like I said, like, when I started the body code course that was in September, and my birthday's in October, so, like, I still even when I'd finished the body code, and I was like, "Yeah, I still don't know, like, I guess I can help people." But it wasn't until December when I did the belief code, I was like, "Oh, no, like, this is it, like, I gotta." That was, like, the missing piece, you know? So I was also 34.
Interesting. Okay. Um, so one thing that I liked about the emotion code is how simple it is. As you were saying, all of the tools that we learned through Catherine's course, or all the other coaching that I did, or other tools that I have, they're all very useful. Um, Many of them required some effort from you. You need to sit down and meditate. You actually need to do 40 minutes of breath work, or whatever other thing it is. What I really liked about this was how effortless it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Yes. It's so easy and simple, like, it's so like, when I started it, I couldn't believe that it was working, because I was like, "How can it be this easy?" Like, everything I'd done before, like you said, it was a lot of efforting on my part, like, and I often, like, 'cause it was a lot of almost guesswork, some of it, like, when you're, like, trying to find your limiting beliefs, like, you're trying to, like, deduce your limiting beliefs and that. Like, you're trying to deduce what's wrong, like, you talk about it, and then you're like, "Oh, yeah, that must be the root of all this." Like, it's always, like, efforting, and with this, it was just like, "Oh, I don't need to know." Like, my body would tell me. Like, it tells me everything. Like, I don't need to do any efforting. I just follow the system,
Yeah.
And like, it tells me and I release it and I'm like I remember when I first did it and I was like, it seriously can't be this simple. I had so much doubt. Like even to this day, sometimes I'm like, surely this doesn't work. Even though like, I know it does, like I've seen it myself and in my clients and friends and family I've worked on, but like still now, like it's so easy. Like sometimes it still like blows my mind. Like
Yeah.
how can it work?
Yeah. And
Like it's so
yeah,
effortless.
so true. And it seems like a shortcut, and usually shortcut don't bring to the full result. But in this case, it's really different because you work with the mind in terms of like the subconscious mind, and so you go to the root cause actually directly. And what I really liked also, there are many other modalities, like infinite modalities at this point, I think, but I think what I really liked is that yeah, you don't have to, like therapy, you need to talk about it and it can be very, very painful.
Yeah.
But with this type of modalities, you don't have to suffer again.
No.
Like, and that's I think why I also involved all my family in this, um, because they might be resistant on doing breath work or doing, I don't know, therapy or whatever it is. It can be an effort for them, but with this they were okay, yeah, sure, like whatever, there
It's so
was nothing to lose. There was nothing
I'm
to.
so weird that you say that though, because I guess yeah, it's because there's nothing to lose. There's nothing on their part. Like that always happens. People are like, oh, okay. Like I always find people that would never do this work, like never believe this kind of thing, and because they don't have to, I guess, do anything, they're like, oh, okay, if you want, and they'll just like accept it. Like they'll just be like, well, what have I got to lose?
Exactly. And so is the only modality that people that I know that weren't, they're not still into this kind of environment, in self-development or whatever. Is the only modality that they accepted. I was talking about it, so yeah, well, let's try whatever. And I can say a couple of things about that later as well. But yeah, that's, I think, the beauty of it. So would you like to, I don't know if it's possible, but to explain how it works? So you
Yeah.
you said all the different types, body code, emotion code, belief code, but yeah, so basically how it works.
Yeah, so it's very simple, as you said already. So we use muscle testing. So if you're familiar with muscle testing, like with chiropractors or kinesiologists, that's a slightly different type of muscle testing. But we use muscle testing, and you set the intention always to just like, oh, because the muscle testing comes from the subconscious mind. It's just the subconscious mind's way of communicating to some capacity. So you can ask it yes and no questions. And so if the answer is truthful, it will give you like a strong response. And if it's like a negative response, like something that's not truthful or something it doesn't like, it will give you like a weak response. And so using that, the the creator of the body code, the emotion code, he made this incredible system over like, I think it's like 25 years old or something now. So it's not even new, he's been developing it for ages. And so he's got all these like charts, you can find them online. So he's over years, they've kind of developed this simple, like over the years, he's tried to make it more and more simple, like simplify it as much as possible. So it is so simple. And so they've, tested this on millions of people, like millions of sessions over years and years of like, how can we develop this in the most simple, practical way? And so there's just a really simple, like chart of emotions. And it's not every emotion in the world. Like what they found is that, it can, like emotions are similar enough that the subconscious mind knows that it's close enough to that it's fine for the subconscious mind. So it's a list of 60 emotions, and you just literally ask yes and no questions, and the subconscious mind gives you the answer. And so, you say you have an issue, like you can, like what's an issue? Like a lot of things, like, because a lot of trapped emotions cause physical issues. So a lot of people come with physical health issues. So say you have like a chronic knee pain, you can just straight up, you ask the subconscious mind, okay, like, are there any trapped emotions causing or it's knee pain? And then you just directly ask the subconscious mind, and the chart is split up into A, B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you just cut it down very easy, the 60, but it's not overwhelming because you just say, okay, you ask the subconscious mind, is it in column B or column A? And then once it will give you one of them, so you've already cut like 30 of them out. Then you just say, is it an even row, odd row? And then you get even or odd, and you've cut another half out, so you're down to 15. And then you just say, okay, in the odd rows, for example, is it 1, 3, 5, and you'll get 3, for example. So you've cut it down now to like 5 emotions. So in like a matter of like 10 seconds, you can get down from like 60 to 5. And then, then out of those 5, you say, is it this one, this one, this one, this one? And then you'll get one from that. And so like in 30 seconds, you've gone from like, I don't know what this is, to like, this is the emotion. And once you identify the emotion, the subconscious mind, like you may ask for more information, like what age did you trap the emotion, or if it's associated with a certain event, or where in the body maybe the emotion is stored. But normally these things aren't required. But if it is, like you just ask the subconscious, like say it wants you to know the age. So say this person is 60. Again, like I just ask, okay, is it before the age of 30? And if it's not, then okay, then now I know already I've cut down half the age. It's between 30 and 60, right? So, okay, now then again, like, is it before 45? Okay, maybe it is. So then again, like I know it's between 30 and 45. So again, like, I can just cut down the age and like straight away, okay, 33. And then like usually that's all the subconscious mind wants us to know. And then I could use it. He was originally a chiropractor, Dr. Bradley Nelson. So he uses like a lot of different kind of like systems, energy systems in the body. But to release, then once you found it and the body is okay for you to release it, you say the emotion is anger. And you found this emotion of anger that's trapped in the body, and the emotions are normally like little balls of energy trapped in the body or in the energy field somewhere. And you get magnetic energy, and I use my hands because we have magnetic energy in our bodies, but you can use like any kind of old magnet. Like the magnet I started with because I was on holiday, it was like a tourist magnet. Like I went to like a souvenir shop, and it was like a souvenir magnet, and I was like, it has like Japan written on it. And I was like, okay, like, but I use a magnet at the beginning because I guess it's like a belief thing. Like at the beginning, I didn't have enough belief to believe that I could do it with my own hand. Like that's so ridiculous. But over time, you just build that belief. But yeah, with a magnet with your hand, you just run it over what is called the governing meridian, which is like the main energy line. It comes from Chinese medicine, the main energy line of the body, which runs from the middle of the forehead all the way back over the head and all the way to the bottom of the spine. And you don't have to do the whole way. Like you can just do like, sometimes I just do like this. If I'm like, I'm in public, I don't want people to see, I'm just like, I'm just like fixing. Yeah, like it's mostly like that energy. And of course, anything in this kind of work, it's about intention, right? Like you have that intention to, okay, I found this emotion. Now I'm going to intend to release it. And like that, the intention is like the biggest part, and then that's it. Like, then the body like goes away and processes it, and that can take like 1, 2, 3 days around there, maybe sometimes a little bit more if it's something really big. But and during the body processes, was like a detox for the body. And most of the time, like people don't find that processing is that bad, which is crazy. Like I did find when I was starting out, like I did have a couple of times when like the past emotions really came, and I was like, whoa, what the hell is that? But like overall, like most of my clients, and now especially, I don't really get like processing is, I notice sometimes I'm processing because I'm like irritable. Mm-hmm. Like someone would say something and I'd be like, go away. Like I can tell when I'm like, oh, that's processing. Like I'm not normally, why would I be this irritable? like say something was annoying me and I was like, why is that annoying me? Like it's so weird, so insignificant. And then I asked, just checked in with my body, like, is this processing? Like, yeah, no, that's why it's annoying.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's just so easy. And the same with the body code, belief code, it's all just the same process, just like for different things,
Yeah.
It's really that simple.
Yeah, and to me it was mind-blowing when when I read the book and then I asked you if it was that simple. But for me, always the way to I know many people are very skeptical and they don't try until they see some scientific research about it or anything like that. For me, I am my scientific research in a sense that I try on myself and then I see if something is for me or not, if something is working or not. So I contacted you at that point after I finished the book and we did a few sessions together. And I really felt I didn't have the processing time. I think I felt immediately lighter, whatever I was working through. I mean, I worked through so many things already, but I don't even remember.
I think the first time you came to me, you were having like creativity blocks. Is that?
Yeah. And I started, very good. And I started to have so many ideas of things to do. I launched this full moon women's circles and I had other ideas. So yeah, it worked basically immediately. I would say a day or two after, it was already different. And then I was reading in the book that, is regardless the fact that people believe it or not, it can still work. And so I know so many
I've
family
seen that,
members.
like
Yeah.
I've seen that all the time. Like that, regardless of people, because so many people, if you like, when I'm in like before, not now, but back last year, I remember like when I still didn't believe if it worked, I went down some, Reddit rabbit holes and people were like, oh no, it doesn't work. It's placebo and all that. And I was like, even if it is placebo, I don't even fucking care because like it's working. Like who cares if it's a placebo? It's working for me. But then I started to realize like I don't think it is placebo though, because like people who I work on and they don't believe in it. And sometimes because, I do most of my sessions by email like we do. And when I volunteer, a lot of my volunteers are friends. Like when I was doing my certifications were friends, because I wanted to help, first the people around me. And like I didn't even, most of them didn't even care to see the reports. Like they didn't even they didn't think it worked. They were like, yeah, sure, I'll help you. I'll be a volunteer. And some of them, like, they never even saw the reports for the sessions I did. They don't have no idea what I released. They just don't care at all. And they've had some of like the biggest changes in their life. Like, and so, to this day, like, I don't, like, one of my friends is like slowly come around. He's like, yeah, I think it was what you did. But like, I see the changes. They would like not even realize like that what we've done has caused these changes. But like, I see the changes. I'm like, holy shit, like, wow. Like, so these people don't even have to like like you said, believe it all. Like they can still have changes. Like
Exactly. And I try them on everyone at this point. The kids, my husband, my parents-in-law, like everyone is
yeah, and
I saw shifts in everyone. Maybe some more than others, but even people that didn't believe in this thing, I could see they felt better. Like the next week, all the issues that we're dealing with were basically resolved. So I found it amazing. And so I don't know if you want to maybe share one of the biggest changes that you've seen in people. I can definitely tell you about my creativity, which has been unlocked since then. And I saw also things that were going on between me and my husband. When he did, the emotion code also got released and things got much better. He's much more relaxed. Like the stress that he might have had before, I feel is, and he feels as well, is just much more relaxed than he was before. Yeah, my dad feels much better as well. He had a lot of issues with the heart and everything, like also big things, and he feels much better. So those are all amazing results, to be honest, for people that don't believe. My husband believes, but yeah, other people didn't, and it was mind blowing for me. And as I said, is one of the things that I suggested, and they said yes because it felt like there was nothing to lose. So it's really a powerful modality for they don't have to do anything. Absolutely.
No.
Yeah.
So many of my clients are the same. Like they'll do it on themselves, like you. Like they have a session for themselves, and like, oh wow, it's so good. I want my husband or my children or my parents or whatever to have one. And then like they just like ask their partner or whoever, and then they come or they have a session too, and they're like open to it because they don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Like got to lose, right? So yeah, I've seen that, but I don't know, like hearing about your family and you, and like I think I have so many stories, but and I haven't even been doing that for that long, and I have already so many stories like so similar to yours. But for me, I think I just actually posted about this on my Instagram stories last night. The biggest one that I've seen, I reckon, like because it's huge for me. Like I felt like because it happened so quickly, and it was like such a short amount of time, and I just see it, and because he's a friend of mine, so I see it in front of me all the time when we hang out. But it was a friend of mine, and he has I diagnosed like autism. Sometimes he says like maybe it's Asperger's. He when we met at my old job, and he just had he was so closed off, like so closed off. Like he would walk, look at the ground. He would come in all the time. Like he was one of the few people, that's how we got to know each other, because he would just come in to do paintings by himself because he enjoyed it. And I'd try and get him to talk to other people, and he had no bar, but he did not want to talk to anyone. He wanted to sit by himself in the corner. Like he just wanted to paint. And it took so long for us to even start having conversations. And then I don't know, back when we kind of started having conversations, I still wasn't very confident in the work. I wasn't, talking to people about it. I think we met in August or something, and back last year. So I still only had a motion code, and I wasn't really I think I had one client who was my first ever client, but there was nothing. I just still I had this one client and I was helping her, but I still didn't think it was going to be a business or anything, so it was really far away, before it all happened. And I don't know, we just I started telling him about it, and he was like, oh, I don't he didn't believe it, but he was like, oh, I'm open to things. And then slowly he started opening up to me about himself and his life, and he was like, oh, it's so strange, I never feel talking about, I've never told anyone this, but it seems so easy to talk to you. And then when I did my belief code certification, I needed volunteers. And I was like, oh, we were kind of closer at this point. And I was like, oh, can I? And I told him about the emotion code. So he had some idea of what I did. And I was like, I need some volunteers. Can I use you? And he was like, oh yeah, sure. Yeah, okay. I'm open to it. Why not? And of course, again, like you said, there's nothing, he didn't have to do anything, I did the session. I just told him I'm going to do your session today. And I just did it by email. He didn't even see the report. I think I might have done 2 belief code sessions during my certification on him. And, today, I think as soon as, after I did it, he told me he met these people, the next weekend or something, and he never would have been open to attracting this kind of thing before, because he was so closed off. He was playing pool by himself, and he met these 2 guys, and they introduced him to this church, and he became Christian, and now he has this huge group of people where his social circle just expanded. He would tell me he was basically a loner before, he had no friends, and he felt so uncomfortable in social situations because he felt he didn't know how to socialize, and he felt because being autistic, he didn't have that kind of emotional intelligence to know, so he felt very uncomfortable. And his life has just completely changed. Now every time I talk to him, the first thing he always says to me is Beth, life is so wonderful. And he says things like that, in this it is so truthful, he's not just joking or like being sarcastic. Like you can tell he means it. And he's like, now we walk down the street and he's like talking to all these people, like random people in the street, like, oh, what a lovely day it is. And then he'll like hear someone's conversation, but oh, I like that too. Like he'll just talk to anyone now. Like he is the most social person I've ever met now. Like, and he'll say like he still has, because he still knows his limits, and he's like in terms of like he feels like he still lacks some social skills. But like now he's like, Beth, I need help. Like, help me how to, overcome this. But like before, like, and he's constantly like, he's like, oh, I met new people. Like I met these new people. And he's like so open. He's like, I love life. Like life is just a wonderful gift. And he is like, and also after it happened, like he started trying all these new things. He's like, I tried volleyball and I tried this sport, and I started swimming, and like I tried this and this, and I was like, oh my God. And like he like just crazy things. Like he loves movies and going to the movies, and like he's like a film buff, and we went to the movies. He's like, Beth, you're the first person like I've ever gone to a movie with. Like I only ever go by myself. Like, and I wasn't comfortable like inviting people or asking people. And like he's like, I can't like, and he's still like, he's like, I just can't believe like what happened, like. And at the beginning, he's like, I don't know if it was what you did, but slowly over time, he's like, I don't know, like it must be what you did. And, like nothing else happened, like I didn't make any other changes in my life. Like I didn't do anything. Like suddenly I just met these guys, and then my whole life changed. Like, and sometimes he would just be like, we'll just be walking. He would just start dancing down the street. Like he's just gone. He's so happy. Like I can't even like, you don't meet many people that is happy as this guy.
Wow. And this is after how many sessions?
Yeah, like I think we did 2 belief code sessions. So this would have been like really 2 belief systems. And I think I released his heart wall as well. I might have done like one other body code session. I can't remember, but there was like, it was like less than 5 sessions.
Yeah. Well,
it was so few.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what I've seen in my husband is neurodivergent too, and had a lot of contractions when there are many people around. They didn't know really how to interact sometimes, and I think I saw a shift as well after just a couple of sessions with you. So definitely, maybe you can specialize in that. It'd be amazing. Neurodivergent people.
Yeah, crazy. I don't know. But that's just like one of many, right? Like I had another client just the other day. We've been doing sessions now. We've done a few more than that. He was like one of my first clients, like that came to me when my business took off in February. And he's like referred so many people. He's like an amazing client. And he told me, he's like in his mid-60s, and he told me like just a couple of weeks ago, he's like, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. Like all this weight, all this shit from my life, sometimes like it's been lifted off of me. And like sometimes I'm just sitting down and I'm like, oh my God, like this is how I felt when I was 20 years old. Like, like it's like all the weight of your life is just all the crap you've been through is just like lifting away,
Yeah.
You can back to that childhood happiness.
Yeah. And I felt similar. Like I was already feeling better, but then it really accelerated it with your work. I think I had a combination of 2 things, and I really had high highs. So yeah.
It's a great tool to use. That I use it with other things, like for me, it's like obviously my main tool, but like still other things I use, like because like sometimes you need like you still need other things, like in the moment, like maybe I need to practice some breathing, or like I need reminders of like when I'm still feeling low. Like I need reminders to have mindset shifts. Like I still use hypnosis, like I still use other things. It's just that like for me, like nothing worked as easily and as quickly. Like, like it's incredible what one can do,
Yeah, it's really incredible. For me, it's somatic work these days. I do a lot of somatic work, and this together has been really, really powerful. And Yeah, and I was in huge transitions in the last couple of years, really difficult times as well to accept the new life and everything. And I was really down. And yeah, I feel with these two things together. I haven't talked about the somatic work that I've been doing, but yeah, this has definitely been an amazing tool. And I'm so happy that my family is involved in that too. So now I bought another 10 sessions from you and I can't wait to see what happens.
And that's the best thing about it also is like it has like a compounding effect, right? So
Yeah.
the more you do, like the only like the better it's gonna get, right? Like it's like it starts like this, like sometimes it's like really subtle,
Yeah.
but then it goes like in my own life, like it's just gone like this, and now it's like like it goes exponential, like the compounding effects just get more and more with each releasing, with each thing, like, and like that's why like it's good to have like more sessions because it just
Yeah.
compounds it,
Totally agree. Yeah, I've seen it. Okay, I'm gonna ask you this. Could we do a session now? I feel called to do it. I know there is. I don't know if people will see the video or not. I have to decide about it. But maybe we can try so people can see how it is, even if it's just the length that it takes to release something. Or
Let me just then, I think it's best if I share my screen.
sure.
So now I've got it here. So this is the body code.
Mm-hmm.
So is there any issue that you're dealing with, or should I just do like generalized?
There is an issue.
Yeah.
I can tell you if you want. My jaw is very tight. I have TMJ disorder.
Mm-hmm.
And now I feel it got worse in the last couple of weeks. So, and I know we hold a lot of emotions in the jaw, so
Mm-hmm.
it might be something to release.
Okay, let's see. I will start by tapping into you like I always do. Okay, so now I've used this method of muscle testing. So I have a connection to Valentina. And so I will just ask now I'm using the body code. That's what I use. So the body code, inside the body code is the emotion code and the belief code as well. So that's the three of them. And so I'll just ask, so like, do you have any imbalances in the body that are causing or contributing to this tight jaw? Yes. Okay. So we do. So I'll just ask, is it in the right hand column? No. Left. So energy? No. So in circuit or system, it's in the left. Right organ, it's in the gland. Left, it's in the female glands. So there's an ovary imbalance. It's in the left, right ovary. So an imbalance is normally, let's see, caused by, as you probably know, you've read your reports, like trapped emotions. So is there an associated imbalance? So this just tells us all the information. Is there an associated imbalance? There is, and we can go back here, but normally it's energy. Normally it's a trapped emotion, but emotional, yeah, trapped emotion. This is our emotion section. This is like 95% of the time it's a trapped emotion, but just go through. I normally don't even go through that because it just ask is a trapped emotion. If it's not, then I'll go through that. So then we have our emotion code chart here. So is this emotion in column A? No, it's in B. It's the odd row. No, it's row 2. It's row 4. It's depression. It's frustration. So a feeling of frustration. And we can ask, do we need to know more? We don't need to know more, but we can ask for your sake, like the age. Is it before age 20? No, before age 25. Yeah, so it's 21, 22, age 23. This comes from. And like this could be something like big, like a big event, or in most cases, like we trap emotional energy like every day doing menial things like getting stuck in traffic or something like this, someone cutting you off. Like we trap emotional energy all the time. So in sometimes, like, especially I think I find in the first sessions, like they tend to be like bigger emotional energy from bigger events. But then as you do more sessions, it's just like emotional energy from just random stuff that you will never remember. But we don't need to remember, so that's the beauty of it. That's why it's so simple. So do we need to do anything else? So then I will just release it on me and it will release on Valentina. So I just ask, is it released? And it is. And then we just ask, is there any other imbalances associated with this? No. So again, I'll just set the intention to reset that ovary. That's now reset. And then again, we just go back here and ask again, do you have any more imbalances causing this tight jaw? Yes. And again, energy. So we have this one here, allergy or intolerance. As in the right, no left. It's an idea intolerance, which is basically just like a belief, I guess. Like we come into contact with some kind of idea, same if you have a physical allergy, you come into contact with the food or whatever it is, and you feel like allergic. It's like kind of the same, but instead of it being a food, it's an idea that's in our head, or like it could be, like a situation or something. And we can have like fatigue or other allergic reactions to these kind of ideas. It's just because our mind has built, like our body has built negative associations with them, which is just the same thing that really happens when you have like a physical allergy as well. And there's a lot here. So there's obviously you can have this to anything, but these are the most common ones. So can it be decoded from this chart? Yes. Is it A, B, odd row? 1, 3, it's in 5. So here, setting and maintaining boundaries, creating a family, childbirth, marriage, and it is changing unhealthy dynamics. That is what we have. And we can find the age for age 20, no, for age 25, 21, 22. Again, it's that same age 23. How are you feeling?
Great. And I want to tell you so many things about these ages and what you're telling me because
yeah, you can. Yeah, definitely.
First of all, I just came back from the doctor today because I wanted to check my ovaries and I have pain on the right one. That's crazy. You actually brought it up like that. And age 23 is and I don't know if you noticed because you might have many clients, but if you remember, so many things happen at age 23 is when I was studying at university, and it was really awful time for me for many different reasons. So I'm not surprised that it's one of the age that comes up more often.
I think, we have already released a lot from that age, haven't we?
Yeah.
I think it was in the session a lot came up from that age, right?
Basically, 90% of the things were from age 23. Yeah.
And that's what happens, like, in the first sessions, you find that, like, everyone has had some moment in their life that's, like, the most memorably, like, traumatic, right, in some capacity. Even if, like, that trauma seems small compared to, like, what, like, could a big trauma, it doesn't matter if it's small, like, the body felt like it's big, right? So that's the important thing of this, like, because people were like, oh, but that wasn't a big deal. But like, yeah, okay, so consciously you don't feel like it was a big deal, but the body felt like it was a big deal. So like, and maybe it wasn't necessarily that it was a big deal even. It's just that maybe you were already tired or run down or sick. Like we can't process emotional energy if we're sick or tired. It's like that makes us more susceptible to trapping emotions as well.
It was just a very depressing time. So I'm not surprised that there are all this stuff coming up.
Well, and that's the great thing, like we can release this emotional energy. Like when you think about that time when you have this trapped emotional energy, it like brings up the feelings again, like those heavy feelings, but you can release the emotional energy and then you can like look back on it and be like, yeah, that was like a depressing time, but like you no longer feel like the heaviness of the memories. The memories become like, no, they have no emotional trigger with them anymore.
Yeah.
Like that's
There is
so
no
cool.
emotional charge. Yes, I totally.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do one more, shall we?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you can feel free to stop whenever.
Okay, let's do one more. Any more balances? Your tightness, yes. Okay, so up to the beginning. Left, pathogen misalignment. Right, left, chakra, common misalignment. left, right, uterus, stomach are fascial distortion. So this is just, we have fascia all over our body and it just gets distorted in some way, normally caused by trapped emotions. Is there an associated balance? Trapped emotion, indeed. Column A, B, even row 2, 4, pride, shame. Before age 30, 5, 4, 33 again we have. Need some more. No. That's released. Is there another associated balance? No, so we can just intend to release that fascial distortion. Cool, let's see. So right now, nothing else is coming up for the jaw tightness, but as you know, like it could be that like this is just the one layer we release now, and then maybe like more can come to the surface, or like they could, like if it hasn't gone away, like it could be. And this is common, especially in long-standing problems, like the subconscious will bring like one layer and then it will go, and then like a few days later, like more will rise. So sometimes, and it does happen, I have heard of it. I've never really had it happen with my clients, but or anyone I know, but it can happen that sometimes, especially if you're someone that like pushes down emotions, like if you release one layer of emotions and it feels like things are getting worse, it's just, they're not actually getting worse. It's just actually like before you had so much stuff like pushing it down, like you were basically, like ignoring it. It couldn't actually come to the surface for whatever reason. And so like you take some of that stuff layer off, like it was like the first layer was like protecting you from, now this stuff can actually arise. And it's like, oh God, what the hell? So like sometimes like then, but then that's good though, because that arises and then we can release that and then it's all gone, because even if you weren't feeling it before, it was still trapped in your body. So it may not be showing symptoms right now, but like the disease will come up at some point, like through a type of disease, or like eventually you might get some kind of chronic pain in different parts of the body, or like, worst of all, like cancer, like different diseases that will come up. Maybe they're not showing now, but the imbalances are there in the body. Like they're going to get there. They're going to express themselves in one way or another through some way, right? So
it totally makes sense to me. And yeah, I really understand it. And I worked with energy through Reiki, which is different modality. Yeah, and it's all about releasing stuck energy from the body, and usually it's emotions that we don't know how to process, or events or stuff that get stuck in the body. So to me, it makes total sense. So thank you so much for this. I actually never seen you doing it live, so it was amazing.
I love people haven't, because I mostly do it. Actually, like I prefer to do it
with
like
some
by now. It's actually my favorite way to do it. Like I feel more, it's like often like when I'm doing it, like obviously if I'm doing it in front of someone, I'll like say words, but the subconscious mind doesn't work with words. So from like I don't really use words. I just like it's so if you're watching me, like, I just sit in silence when I'm doing it by myself. So like it's because I don't ask, like I don't even really ask, like is there anything causing this? I will just tap in like that, that intention, that feeling, and like I think this, like the more I do it, it's like I can really feel like that. Someone tells me their issues, I don't even really have to, I look at the words, but like as soon as I look at the words, I will like feel that. And so like I'm not, like when I'm doing it myself, I don't talk about, I don't say like something causing this. Like I will just look at what they've said to me, and I'll just like, feel it.
Yeah.
And so like I feel like, someone's saying they feel like really like lack of motivation. Like I'll just feel that, like I'll feel that. And it's like the more I do it, like the more I can naturally just feel that. And so like I think that's also why I feel like I can get good results from my clients, because like I, have so much knowledge of the subconscious mind, right? So from all my previous work, so I can really tap into that instead of like just like it still works if you just say the words, but like of course the intention is more powerful if you're really tapping into that language of how the subconscious works,
Yeah. And as a start, I think people starting out is perfectly fine if they say the words of the whole process. As you said,
Oh yeah, I just said the
you
words.
just do it in your way. Yeah.
I just said the words. Like, I don't know, I can't even remember now, but like I just did it, you know.
Yeah, totally
I'm sure,
understand.
like, at the beginning, like there's probably so many things I released that were like not accurate at all, but you know, like you just keep going.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just keep going. Like muscle testing is like a skill, right? You just have to, like, the more you do it, the easier it
Yeah.
becomes. Now when I do it, I don't even think about it, you know, like it just happens, right? Like, and I remember when I first started, I was like, I'm never gonna, what? How do I do that? Like, I'll never be able to do that. But yeah, like you just do it, and then it just,
It works. Yeah. It's
yeah,
practice.
exactly.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much.
Having me.
Is there anything else you want to share before we close this chat? Maybe where people can find you, if there is anything that you want to offer or anything like that. Maybe now would be a good time to share that.
Yeah, sure. Well, you can find me. I guess my main two spots are my website, which is bemhealing.com, or my Instagram, which is the same at bemhealing.com. Yeah,
We we
that's
can
where.
share the links. We can share the links in the show notes.
On there, you can find how to book sessions with me, or like I have a coaching container. Like I do offer like some other things as well, but like, yeah, like it's very easy to book sessions through my website.
Yeah, definitely. I can confirm that. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing this with me and my audience. And I
Thank
hope really for people listening that will try this modality because,
you.
yeah, it's really easy
Yeah.
and effortless.
It's once you practice, it's just so easy, you know? And that's the thing, like you can do it, like once you learn it for yourself, you can use it on your family, and I use it on my pets, and you know, like
Mhm.
everyone else.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. And thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.